Hi, it's Dwyer. It is June 7th, 2025. GamblersAdvisory.com, a free site. BettingAngle.us, a free site. Justis Huni in Fabio Wardley's backyard was putting on a masterpiece. He took the crowd right out of the fight. His strategy was breathtaking. Believe it or not, he was on his front foot against Fabio Wardley. He was crowding Fabio Wardley. And what we found out is that Fabio Wardley needs space to operate. Right? Wardley from distance is throwing an uppercut and other punches. But up close, he had no answers on how to get out of the way of Huni's chopping right hand or Huni's left hook to the body. Right? Huni had the fight going. We get to the 10th round, and this round is crucial for gamblers. Now, this was a premium video that I made. On my premium side, I get a little bit more aggressive, right? The people I'm dealing with, I believe, are seasoned gamblers. So understand, I had 3 plays here. It was a 3-part bet. The big part, the part I thought was going to hit, was the under 9.5 rounds. I told people that if you had $30, put 20 on that prop. It was at a minus 125. I also had Huni by decision because I thought Fabio Wardley got outboxed for stretches by Fraser Clark. It looked to me, based on the first Clark fight, not the second, that Wardley could be outboxed by a seasoned boxer, and Huni had an extensive, decorated amateur pedigree. Huni by decision would have paid plus 550. I told viewers to put $6 down. Understand how it would have worked, right? 6 times 5.5 is 33. You get the $6 back, you would lose the 20 and the 4 on the imperfect hedge I'm about to mention. So you would have collected $9 off the $30 outlay. That's if Huni wins by decision. The third leg was Wardley by decision. The fight was in Wardley's backyard. I told premium subscribers to bet $4 on that at a plus 350. You would have lost $12 on that prop, but better to lose 12 than 30. Well, this is a gambling moment, right? Understand, Wardley was clueless. Wardley was getting hit with the harder shots. Wardley could not handle Huni deep in the pocket. Right? Understand, Wardley didn't really know how to pivot that well. You would have rounds where Huni would pin Wardley on the ropes. The crowd was shocked. Right? Understand, in the arena, Frank Warren was so concerned he actually went over to Wardley's corner. Eddie Hearn, Huni's guy, was thrilled. It looked like Wardley needed a miracle to win the fight. You thought all Huni has to do is coast here. I myself was getting nervous, right? A 9.5 means you get to the halfway point of the 10th round. I started to get nervous. I started to consider how I would lose it all if Huni got a stoppage. I said Huni, not Wardley, got a stoppage after the halfway point of the 10th round. Well, you know what happened. Huni starts to walk into the pocket, has his feet together just momentarily. That's the moment when Fabio Wardley uncorks a right hand that he starts to throw from down low. Right? Larry Holmes always claimed that it's the punches you throw from down low that an opponent's not ready for. The punch lands flush on Huni's, looked like his chin jaw area. The fight literally just ended a few moments ago. And Huni goes down. Huni actually does beat the count. He gets up, but he looked a little wobbly. I believe after this masterpiece performance, given that Wardley is an extremely heavy puncher, the referee made the right call in not allowing the fight to continue. But I need to be blunt with everyone here. Even if Huni had suffered a 10-7 round, let's say he got knocked down again, let's say he barely survived the round, he would probably still be ahead on my scorecard. As I said, he was spanking Fabio Wardley. Now, Wardley's a gifted puncher. Wardley's been working on a lot of things. You'll notice early in this fight, Wardley has a lot of feints going on. You'll notice, too, that Wardley is mixing up punches. So the uppercut is actually now more a part of his repertoire. Right? But Wardley clearly was not prepared for a guy to actually come on his front foot and challenge him deep in the pocket. And Wardley didn't have the defense for an up-close encounter. Right? Because Wardley is a hunter. Most guys stay away from Wardley. They don't realize that there's actually a little bit of a hole in Wardley's presentation. So Wardley could not handle Huni up close in the pocket. Now let me criticize Huni a little bit. Huni had Wardley looking lethargic, looking discouraged. Folks, that's how lopsided the fight was. Right, there was a moment where the referee suddenly stopped the action. They mentioned the gum shield coming out. I thought, okay, Wardley must be desperate here. He's trying to buy time. I mean, Wardley looked bent over at times. Right? He looked like a guy putting on a brave face. You know, he has that James Bond type persona, right? I think he should be the next James Bond. He'd be a great one. They probably pay him less than he makes in boxing these days. But understand, I thought whatever his facial expression, his body language just didn't match Huni's. So, of course, they stopped the action. Understand, it's going Huni's way. They stopped the action to pick up a gum shield. And whose gum shield was it? Believe it or not, it was Huni's gum shield. Come on, player. You're the plus 550 underdog. Fighting in a different country in the other guy's backyard. You're winning the fight. The last thing you want to do is to give Fabio Wardley a chance to have precious few extra seconds to get back his stamina. It's even worse than that. How do they follow it up? Huni is late coming out of his corner. Why? Because they don't have his mouthpiece ready. Come on, man. Let's just say the guys need to sit down and just say to themselves, look, we hit the big time. We should have won this fight. This is the lucky punch variety. Granted, it's lucky punch from a puncher, right? But, you know, Huni and his team have to know that they should have won this fight. Let me just tell you, too, if you follow heavyweight boxing, you're in shock right now. Huni looked so good that even though he lost the fight, he didn't really. Right? If you're a promoter, this is a name you have to have on your short list. Right? Understand, he looked incredibly good. If they were to announce Huni against Anthony Joshua or Huni against Tyson Fury, if Tyson Fury comes back, and by the way, Fury says if he comes back, he's not stupid. He's not going to fight Moses Atama. Right? Food for thought. Just understand, Huni has raised himself into the upper echelon of heavyweights. Right? Knockouts count. Knockdowns count. I'm not saying he won the fight. I'm not saying Wardley didn't deserve to win the fight after getting the knockdown. Right? But let's just say Wardley's one lucky bee. He was down by at least 4 rounds. And we were in the 10th. Now let's talk about my painful realization. I'm watching the 10th. Now I have to get the official time. But understand, I would have been good if the fight ended in the first half of the 10th. I believe it did not. I believe I had my bet hedge blow up on me once this fight made it past the 1.5 minute mark of the 10th round. So no beer for me. This brother is thirsty. I'll be eating beans and rice and canned tuna for the next couple of days. This is how it goes with betting, right? You know, Huni on his way to a plus 550 couldn't make it through the last 9 minutes of the fight. Excellent fight. It's a must watch. The revelation here is Huni on his front foot. Folks, he looked better here than he did against Kevin Lorena. It's Huni on his front foot, crowding Fabio Wardley, taking a vibrant crowd. The crowd was loud, the crowd was happy, the crowd was overjoyed. By the 5th round, you could have heard crickets in the crowd. They were stunned. You were watching the fight and you thought, oh my goodness, this is an upset. Huni's advantage looked structural. It didn't look like a lucky night. It looked like better skills up close. Right? He was hitting Wardley with punches that were at least as hard as any Wardley was landing. Until, of course, the last shot. Let's all remember, in boxing, a puncher only has to be right once. That's this fight. Those are my thoughts. Let me hear yours in the comment section of this YouTube video. Great fight. Really no losers. Although, well, except for gamblers like me on this one. Those are my thoughts. I look forward to yours in the comment section of this YouTube video. Thanks for stopping by.